Welcome to the Carmel and Butcher show. My name is Miata Daphne Efe-Oghene. Today's episode is one which really touches my heart. It is a sad story, but one that ends with immense joy. Today we'll be speaking to Maya, also known as Maya the Brave, a formidable young lady who fought and triumphed over this dreadful disease known as cancer. Maya's mother, Zainab, is also joining us today, and they're both going to share their wonderful story. Welcome to the show, Zainab.
Hi,
Thank you so much for joining us, Maya.
Thank you.
Great. I'm going to start by asking a question that I know you've probably been asked several times, and I'm hoping it won't be, too hard for you to relay again. But what I'd like to know, and what I'm sure the audience would like to know, is how did you discover that she had cancer?
Okay, in January, she started complaining of stomach pain. But as our parents always taught us, like, did you use the bathroom? Does she have fever? No fever. So after she started having leg pain, and I thought maybe because she works out a lot, she does gymnastics, she's always like very active. So I thought maybe it's like just a normal thing. So one day she went to my friend, and actually a week before we were at the beach, we were at Toke Beach, and my friends were like, Zainab, your daughter is so like, she has muscles in her stomach, in her body, like she's so strong, and they were admiring her body. So after a week exactly, she went to my friend, and she had the same stomach pain that she was complaining of, but my friend told her to lay down, and she noticed that the lower belly, it's not going inside. So she called me and she was like, Zainab, there's something wrong with Maya's belly. And I was like, no, nothing is wrong. And I was like, no, nothing is wrong. And then when she came to me and she slept, I noticed there was a bump in her belly. So long story short, we traveled to Lebanon, and it was supposed to be a cyst. And I traveled for only I was supposed to go for only 2 weeks. And I remember when we went to the hospital, it was supposed to be like a surgery, but then they said, no, we can't do surgery, and we need to do further investigations. So they did a biopsy, and the results was supposed to come after a week, but the doctor couldn't call me. So then I called and I was like, tell me what's happening. And she was like, I don't know what to tell you, but your daughter has something really bad. It's called embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma, and it's a very rare cancer disease. At that time, I felt everything stopped, like, okay, what's happening? And then, we started finding doctors. The first question I asked the first doctor, I was like, will she lose her hair? He said, yes, she's going to lose her hair. And Maya loved her hair. And then we started to ask, and then they told us about Children's Cancer Center in Lebanon. They said that's the best place. She will have the best treatment. So we went there, and she was supposed to go for only 2 days, just to have the polycyte, to put the polycyte, and to have another biopsy, like an open biopsy, to make sure of the cancer, to know what kind of treatment she had. Yeah. So we went, and instead of staying 2 nights, we stayed 45 days because she started having fevers. She went with her. She left the hospital without her. She went walking. She left the hospital on a wheelchair because she could not walk. She went using the bathroom like a normal person. We left, she had 2 nephrostomies. They had to put like something into her kidneys, like she used to urine through those bags.
To get the kidneys to function.
Yeah. So it was a horrible 45 days. And anytime I asked the doctors, like, what's next? They're like, we can't tell. She was, and then the journey started after that 45 days,
As a child, because when this happened, she was 7?
9.
9 years old, So how were you able to convey the magnitude of this illness to her? Or you probably didn't even understand the magnitude at that point in time.
I remember the hospital told me she needs to know what she has. I was like, no. I said, we are old people, and when we hear about cancer, we're scared. I said, no. I don't want her to know. But she always used to read Children's Cancer Center, and she always see bald kids. And she was like, why are they all bald? And why is it children cancer center? I don't have cancer. And I used to tell her, everyone, because cancer, you have different kind of cancer.
Yes.
So I used to tell her, this one is suffering from like bone problem, this one. But she kind of knew, but like I was trying to make the image like a pretty image.
To
like,
play it down a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when I knew she was sick, I started with my hair. I had long hair, so I went and I cut my hair short. So Maya likes to like look like me and do stuff like me. So when we were at the hospital, I said, I asked the doctor when she took the first chemo, I said, when will her hair start falling? He said, anytime. So I told her, Maya, what about cutting your hair like me? And she was like, yes. When they cut her hair, she was like, no offense, Mama, I don't like the hair. I can't wait for my hair to grow. So I didn't cut it I just cut it like short. After a few days, she was going to the bathroom and this part fell on the floor. And then I was like, because I was like scared of that moment, but because I recalled that like I was ready, so I was like, Maya, you have something here. I don't know what they call it in English, but in Arabic called hassoune. What's hassoune?
It's like
those black spots. Yeah. I was like, Maya, you have one here. She was like, where? And she ran to the bathroom and she was like, yeah, I see it. And all this part. So instead of being a sad time, we started to laugh and making fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the hair kept on falling. So I was like, Maya, let's just, look, you have one hair here, one hair here. Let's just remove the hair. So I remember I called this guy. He's like a hairdresser, very nice guy. I said, I want you to come to the hospital and shave Maya's hair. So I remembered, the kids, like it's children's place, like it's children, so the chairs were like little. So they gave me this chair, I sat, I said, Yalla, shave my hair. So he shaved my hair like number 3. Wow. And then, it was Maya's turn. But that time she had pain, like her left leg was really hurting her. So the guy, after he told me, he said when she was crying that her leg was hurting her, he said, I couldn't handle it because he has a daughter. Oh. He said, I couldn't. He said, I just wanted, he even left his bag. He forgot his bag. Like he was like, and we shaved her hair. And then,
I can't say I'm a direct, witness to cancer, but I've seen, people that I love, have loved ones go through it. And you see the turmoil. Now, usually with any form of grief or with any form of a tragedy or any form of illness, they say there's a 7-step process. But as a mother, I want to understand how you felt. I want you to take us through that emotion, hearing the first, words from the doctor, telling you what kind of cancer, not understanding.
Yeah, it felt like Chinese, to be very honest.
Then doing the research.
Yeah, I remember when like the doctor told me like your daughter has this, I felt like my world stopped. I don't know, like I didn't know what to expect because I always heard cancer, and I was scared. So I remember people used to come and come check on Maya and check on us, and I used to feel like as if they're not there. But then one day I was like, if I'm weak, she's gonna be weak, because at that time she didn't eat. Like for a month she lost like maybe 10 kilos. So I was like, if I'm weak, she's going to be weak. So I was like, no, I have to change. Even the nurses, they told me, when you first came, you were always like not smiling, and even you don't say hi. We used to say like this mom, I was like always in the room, I keep to myself. And then suddenly I felt like, no, I have to, I only, when they say faith, like you're walking in a tunnel and you're like, I'm going to see the light. I don't care. I remember.
So basically you change your perspective.
Yeah, I changed, because I felt if I'm weak, because I saw her, she's not eating, anytime she takes chemo, she throws up. I saw my daughter like a plant.
Withering.
The plant is losing her petals. Yeah, like a rose. Yeah, exactly. So then I was like, no, I have to change. And then we started to get movies to the room. We started to make parties. I used to go home and get stuff from the house. Yeah, and I remember, So we started to make it more fun because it was like our second home.
Yeah.
We make karaoke, we like karaoke nights and movie nights, and we used to entertain the other kids. So,
Tell me about your faith.
okay, I never asked, I'm not that religious, first of all, but I never asked God, like, you know, like sometimes when you go through problems in life, you say, God, why did you do this? I never said that. I always had faith that I'm going to this, but she's going to be okay.
But in the beginning where you were unhappy and you kept to yourself, did
I
you not
was
hate God, hate the world?
Not at all, not at all, not at all. I didn't hate God, not at all, but I always thought like, never say I'm going to do this tomorrow, never. You never know what will happen next, because few months before she got sick, I remember my family opened the gym and I started working. Like I used to go every day at 6 in the morning to open the gym, and I used to work till 9 o'clock at night, and I only go home 2 hours. And when people used to ask me, you're getting tired, like, are you happy? I used to say I was never this happy. Then suddenly, all this happened.
Wow.
Yeah. So never say, I'm going to do this. Just live and never take anything for granted. And never, like, I was a bit materialistic. Like, I used to like to travel, my looks, my hair. And when all this happened, you just notice that those are like silly stuff. Like there's something, like when we're at the hospital, I always like hearing kids crying. And I used to ask the nurses, don't tell me. And they're like, there's a new case. Like you see those, like some kids like passed out while we were there. And so I used to say, what, like human beings are very silly. Us were very silly because we think about all those like
immaterial things that don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's the real life. When you live there, that's the real life. Like you see,
Why did you set up the Instagram page?
My sister.
Your sister started it?
My sister, yeah. My sister.
But what was she hoping to gain from that?
She told Maya, you know what? When you have Instagram, it's going to change your life because people will support you, and that will end. Like, it will change the way you see stuff in life. So Maya had that Instagram page, and people all over the world started to add her and like, you're a fighter. So that also affected Maya in a positive way, and then she gave them the positivity back.
Okay, so tell me about that positivity.
Well, to be honest, I got my positivity from my mom. Like, she was always happy and always like helping me out, and she always smiled and made me have a fun time. Like, if I was bored, we have like stacks of CDs at home, like literally stacks. And like once in the hospital, we got piano to the hospital.
I saw one on your Instagram page. You were actually playing the piano. You play very well.
I actually stopped a little, but like I used to like it, but I don't really like when I get things wrong. I get frustrated and stuff like that.
You're a perfectionist.
Yeah.
At such a young age.
I don't know. I hate when I get something wrong, and then after I'm like, no, I don't want to do it anymore. Okay. I got it wrong. Now I try again. No, I'm tired of this. But like everybody was like so nice to me, and my followers were like, you're such a strong girl, and you should keep fighting. And I hope you the best. And I always got my positivity from my parents and from my followers. So then I like started posting things that made people happy and what happened to me, like that. So then that's how I got my positivity.
And I noticed that one of your followers was Stephen Amell.
Yeah.
The Arrow guy. And he also sang your song for your birthday.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
Well, so I liked Stephen. I love him. He's a very good actor. I love the series Arrow. I love like stuff like DC and superhero and stuff like that. So then Stephen actually commented on one of my posts for my birthday. When I posted, he's like, watch out for a guy, and his name is Zacho, and then,
like he's gonna send her like an email.
He's gonna send me something. And then after, the guy sent me a video of Stephen Amell singing the song, and then I said thank you and like that. So that's how it all happened. Like, amazing. He saw my post.
Do you stay in touch?
Not really, because like, you know, Arrow and stuff like that. But he actually stopped it now. They actually stopped it.
They have?
Because they've been doing it for 7 years so far.
Okay.
So I think they stopped it.
Okay.
But now I watch like Flash and stuff like that. I seem more interested in the Flash. It had less blood and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Arrow was a good one while it lasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you appear hale and hearty. Are you now in remission?
She's done her treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what remission means?
Not really.
Okay, it's basically saying are you cancer free?
I am cancer free, but you know, when you finish with cancer, you have like the 1 month checkup, then the 3 months, then the 6 months, then the 1 year, and you get it till it's 5 years.
Okay, and then you can now be
Yeah.
declared
Yeah, exactly.
Cancer free.
remission. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But like right now, I still have a problem with my kidneys, and so like I have to go every 3 months to check on them, make sure they're getting better. But I am fine now. Like other than my kidneys, I'm fine.
How are you guys paying for all of this?
Okay, when you go to Children Cancer Center, they ask you, do you have insurance?
That's in Lebanon.
In Lebanon, yeah. So at that time we had insurance. So the insurance pays, and then what they don't cover, the Children Cancer Center covers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the first year it was like more than $200,000. The insurance paid. Yeah, it's very expensive. The insurance paid, but the second year they told me we're going to give you a limit, and they gave me a very small limit, and I told the hospital, and they were like, it's fine, we will cover what, like anything else we will cover. Even when she did her, you know, because she had radiation, it burned some of her internal organs like the intestine. She had something called stoma bag for a year. Like they had to remove part of her intestine, and she had like a hole in her stomach, and I used to empty this hole every day several times for a year. Yeah. So
You're strong,
not strong. You have no choice. You have no choice. When you don't have any choice, you have to be like that. You have to. Yeah, so I remember the hospital when we wanted to close this and get everything back to normal, the hospital paid every single, they paid like $16,000, yeah. And they didn't let me pay a dime, yeah.
Totally blessed.
When I did the surgery to put the stoma bag because my intestine was burned a little bit, I was like, happened so quickly. Like I went to the hospital, my sisters were at school, and then like my belly started hurting, and I felt like I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. And then after when they pressed my finger, you know when you press your finger and then after blood comes again, mine would stay white and the blood was
circulation.
So it was like I was dying, like something. But like they called it was like an action movie. You know how
it was like a movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Everybody started
and you feel
running.
like you're like out of your body watching
Yeah.
all of this happen to somebody else.
To be honest, the saddest part about the surgery is that I was wearing very new clothes. It was my first.
They had to rip it off.
They had to.
You missed out on virtually 3 years of your childhood.
You know when people, like kids, they always dream about having homeschooling, and it would be much easier than waking up at 6 a.m. in the morning, going to school.
Don't tell me you were like, oh, this is what I've always dreamed of.
No, it wasn't
In terms
like
of
that.
the schooling.
It wasn't
It
like
wasn't,
that, to be honest.
okay.
I missed school.
Oh.
Like, to be honest, I missed school, but then when I went to school for like 2 days, I was tired of it. I missed school because, like, when I was in the hospital and, like, everyone was studying, then when it became summer, I had to study and everyone would go out and do everything they want.
Because you had to catch up.
Yeah, so I had to do, like, my lessons, and I can't miss them because, like, I need to go to school again. If I missed them, I would go back to the grade I stopped in. And to be honest, I don't want to do that.
So you're back at school now?
Yeah, I am, and I'm in the grade that I'm supposed to
With
be
your
in.
peers, you're all
Yeah.
in the right grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like it wasn't really that nice doing homeschooling, but in summer.
Yeah.
So like,
Were you in hospital then?
like I would go to the hospital a few times. So.
Okay. And your family, how were they? How did they take all of this? Your siblings, your sisters? The little one obviously wouldn't
They used
understand.
to come. Okay, at the hospital, you're not supposed to take children, but because we used to stay months at the hospital, we were like, they gave us exceptions. So Alina used to come, and Rayan, she used to come and say, Maya, you're okay? Okay, I see you're fine. I'm going to the playroom to play. And then she goes to the playroom.
It's like she comes, but like not to see me. Oh, okay. Oh, Maya, you're okay? Okay, now I'm going to the playroom to play. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
And your dad?
My
You were
dad.
saying how, you know, you really miss not having him.
I miss him, but like not every day he could come to.
Because you know he lives here.
Yes,
because
He
of
lives
work.
here, he works here. So like not every day he could come, and he couldn't stay for a long time. So I'd really miss him a lot.
Great. And I hear you guys are going back to Lebanon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're leaving on Monday.
Thank you so much, Maya. The last question I have for you, though, is what's next? What's next for Maya?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
So you're living every day as it comes and enjoying the moment, just like your mom says, not plan for tomorrow.
Don't plan for tomorrow. Stay what you want, do what you want to do today. Live a good life. Live nicely, at least. Like, if anything happens, just be happy. Just, God's doing this. You believe in God. God will always protect you.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Maya. Thank you for
Thank
coming to
you.
the show. And thanks so much, Zainab.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching. We certainly do hope that you enjoyed the show and that you're inspired by their story. We know we certainly are. It's such a touching story, and we're so pleased that Maya could bring so much positivity to this. And we hope that everyone learns from this. Leave each day as it is. Enjoy the moment. Be good. Be kind to each other. We hope you can join us next week. Please do not forget, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the Carmel and Butcher Show, and see you next week.